Good morning. I'm Angelo Castro III.
I'm Angela and we are the Castros.
And of course, dahil Wednesday,
Yes, it's Second Mile Coffee Day.
Second Mile Coffee Day. Ano ba meron tayo, Angel, dito?
So we have our staple, yung ating
yung
cream puff.
And it's very good cream puff. Pero kasi mas madami siyang cream than the bread.
Yes.
And
tapos, may bago tayo. May bago tayo.
Hindi pa natitikman.
Kasama.
Pero naguhitan ko na yung icing eh.
Ano ka ba? Nagbugas ka bang kamay?
Mukhang ube cake. And of course, my wonderful daily fix na brewed coffee from Second Mile. Brazilian coffee.
Right.
Ayan. Okay, all of this because we're serving you news in a countdown.
All that before your second cup of coffee. This is Brunch.
Kicking off our countdown with the recently concluding Baeksang Arts Awards. Taking home the Daesang or Grand Prize Awards are the drama Moving and director Kim Sung-soo for the film 12/12 The Day. Nam Gung-min of My Dearest took home the Best Actor Award for TV, while Honey Lee of Night Flower won Best Actress. For film, the Best Actor Award went to Hwang Jung-min of 12/12 The Day, and the Best Actress Award was won by Kim Go-yoon of Exuma. The Baeksang Arts Awards recognizes the most outstanding actors, shows, and films that made a mark on the South Korean entertainment industry.
Congratulations!
Yung 12/12 The Day, yung may pinapanood natin.
Hindi, Goodbye Earth yun eh.
Goodbye Earth pa rin.
Hindi natin masyado members, but congratulations, and I'm sure yung mga mahilig ng mga Korean series, mga Korean artists,
actually,
natutuwa
in general, the Korean industry is a thriving industry. Dati Hollywood and Bollywood lang eh. Ngayon, Korea is up there.
Exactly. And one of the members of this girl group, ako magagalit ata sa aking mga K-popers na hindi ko alam yung pangalan, pero nasa Met Gala kahapon. Can you imagine? Diba?
Ay, hindi nga eh. Di ba yung BTS, pag sa Grammys ba? Sumasayaw sila. Yung mga Hollywood actors and actresses, they were taking out their phones, pinipicturean nila yung BTS. Oh, di ba? Sige.
Let's continue our countdown. Flying to our 9th spot is Iloilo. The province is declared as the most affordable tourist destination this summer. Online travel agency Agoda reported that the average room rate in Iloilo is less than 3,000 pesos. Iloilo overtook Bacolod City as the most affordable tourist destination in the country. Agoda also noted that other Asian cities are more affordable than Iloilo. These cities are Udon Thani in Thailand, Surabaya in Indonesia, Hue in Vietnam, and Kuching in Malaysia. Province yan, di ba? Iloilo. Ay, Ilocos nga pala kayo.
Ilocos North ako eh. Wow!
Erase.
Tagal na
Mali
natin
ako.
magkilala. Hanggang ngayon, hindi mo alam taga saan ako. Taga Ilocos North po ako. Lawag.
Oo.
Iloilo.
Punta na tayo Iloilo sa susunod. Let's go to the
cheapest. Tingnan natin.
Doon tayo mag-brunch.
Oo daw, sabi nga nila daw, kung 2-3 kayo daw, kunyari magdala ka ng 5,000, ang dami mo daw makakain in 1 week.
Wow.
Oo. Wow! Plastic na taong ngayon. Let's move on. Smashing to our 8th spot, Signal announced its official partnership with the Philippine Badminton Association for the 2024 Philippine Badminton Open. The tournament aims to look for our possible bet in badminton at the 2028 Olympics. It'll take place from June 5 to 9 here in Mandaluyong. With the Signal partnership, the 2024 Philippine Badminton Open is going to be broadcasted on Signal Cable, Smart Sports, Puso Pilipinas, and PBA D-League page. The Philippine Badminton Association said the broadcast coverage can help badminton players get discovered and achieve their Olympics dream.
It's the biggest elite category tournament that we have in the year, and it's also the biggest source of points for ranking as well. And for the national team, it allows them to be exposed to talent across the country. So in a way, it also keeps them motivated, keeps them on their toes.
Ganda yung ginagawa natin yan na we're
Exciting.
exposing other sports aside from basketball. Kasi given na basketball is the nation's most popular sports, but we're good also at other things.
Different things.
Recently, we had success with the ASCALs, and then now we have badminton, we had boxing, di ba? So maganda sa
At
badminton.
chess, dapat.
Pero ito maganda yung badminton at volleyball recently has gained popularity over the last decade.
Exactly.
Badminton is equally an exciting and fast sport na may enjoy ng tao na manood.
At saka yan yung nakikita mo rin sa sports activities sa mga schools para sa mga bata na bata pa lang sila, 'di ba, binibigyan na sila ng interest. Tapos marami kang makikita mga kids din talaga. Badminton yung kanilang pinagtutuunan ng pansin.
Pas makikita mo sa mga subdivision nga, mga clubhouse dati, makikita mo lang basketball, swimming pool, and volleyball court. Ngayon may mga badminton court na on the side.
Mga badminton clubs.
Badminton clubs among titos and titas.
Oo, mga mommies and daddies.
Mga
Pero
mommies and daddies.
meron akong isang viral na pag-uusapan dito din, Diego, no? The viral social media ngayon, ang pagtatalo ng isang customer at ng kahera. Ayaw kasi payagan ng kahera na palitan ang binibiling produkto ng customer kahit na may dala siyang resibo.
Bawal nga ba ito at kailan lang ba pwedeng ipapalit ang paano ba i-pronounce
Oo,
yan?
mamimili ang kanilang
Mamimili.
binili.
Yun, para bigyan ng mukha ang balita, Mobile Journal, Evan Tarinque.
May mga oras talagang mali tayo nang nabibili, lalo na kapag nagmamadali o may emergency. Pero paano pag ang tindahan, hindi ka pinayagan papalitan ang item mo? Kahit hawak mo pa ang resibo. Nag-viral sa social media itong video na ito kung saan nagtatalo ang uploader at mga nasa likod ng counter ng tindahang ito. Ang punot dulo, pagpapalit lang ng size na nabiling diaper ng kumukuha ng video. Medium kasi ang nabili niya, pero large pala ang kailangan niya na mas mahal lang umano ng 6 na piso.
Size lang ang pinapapalitan ko, tapos na. So, yung pasyente ko doon nagtatain, emergency,
Base sa kanilang pag-uusap, kinikita tindahan na hindi nila pwedeng palitan ng produkto. Yan ay kahit hindi naman ito nabuksan at dala rin ng customer ang kanyang resibo. Pero sa website ng Department of Trade and Industry, nakalagay na bawal ang tinatawag na no return, no exchange policy ng mga establishmento. Sabi ng DTI, proteksyon ito sa mga consumers sa tinatawag na 3 Rs, na repair, replacement at refund. Ayon sa mga nakausap kong pharmacist, may mga senaryo na natatanggihan din nila ang pagpapalit ng customer.
Kapag nabuksan na po, or halimbawa sa medical, pag alis dito, tinitest namin, nadala na niya, tapos binalik niya na sera, na wala po kami dyan.
Sa lahat ng nabisita kong pharmacy, naging usap-usapan nga daw itong viral video na ito. Kaya naman ang ilan sa kanila, may nakapaskil upang linawin kung ano lang ang pwede at hindi pwedeng ibalik. Pero marami rin namang pharmacist nagsabi sa akin wala namang problema ang pagpapalit ng item. Yun nga lang,
Pero kailangan in good condition yung binili niya na gusto niya papalitan. Tapos, kung ano yung amount nung item, ganun din ang amount ng pampalit.
pero para maiwasan na rin ang hassle, paalala naman ng ilan,
Bago siya umalis ng counter, double check niya. Pag nagkaroon ng problema, mabibigyan ng attention kagad.
hindi man totoo ang kasabihang na customer is always right. Sana'y tansyahin din kung kailan dapat magbigay ng konsiderasyon. Dahil kahit ikaw, isa ka rin namang customer para sa iba. Mobile Journal, Ivan Tarinque po hatid ang mukha ng balita.
As per DTI, pwede magpapalit ng goods na binili mo. If, for example, pag clothes, pangit yung fit, di ba? You can change it paulit-ulit. Di ba? May popular chain na binibili natin ng damit. Minsan dalawa, tatlo
Bawal lang
tayong...
yung underwear.
Ay, oo, bawal talaga. And yung medicine na, for example, na hindi pa naman panis pero binuksan mo.
O kaya, tama ka John. O kaya meron kang binili na pagkain, nakalahati mo na nakain.
Tapos gusto mo palitan.
Gusto mo palitan. Kasi mali yung flavor or whatever.
Oo.
Yun mali. Nasa ano naman yun? Nasa lugar dapat.
Kaya may testing.
Oo.
Pero kasi nangyayari before kasi sa States, parang yung return exchange policy nila absolute. So ang dami yung mga customer, nagte-take advantage
Yes.
of
What
the
they do, di ba,
situation.
usually, yung parang common practice sa kanila doon.
Susuotin yung damit.
Susuotin yung damit, kuya bibilin. Kasi babalik nila after nung event. And then
either
they get their
refund
money,
or they get
money
another
back. Oo.
design, di ba? So,
Exactly.
tinan nila. Kaya bawal naman yung ganun. Huwag naman tayong ganun din. Be
Pero kung
considerate.
halimbawa, kunyari, may binili ka para sa anak mo, tapos pagdating mo sa bahay, hindi pala kasya.
Hindi.
Tapos bago pa na doon yung tarjeta.
Ano yung tarjeta? What is
Ay, hindi, sorry.
tarjeta?
Ang tawag doon?
Hindi ko naintindihan.
Tag.
Ako tag.
Oo,
Okay,
tag.
sorry.
So, pwede yun. Basta hindi pa butas-butas, hindi faded.
Hindi, basta
in
way
color.
upon check out ng item daw, tapos tinignan nyo pareho. Kaya titignan ng sales lady Basta walang sira from the start. Kung binalik mo may sira, ibig sabihin galing sa'yo. Oo.
Alam mo naman ako, mahilig ako magpa-return.
Hindi, kung may mali
Diba?
Pag pangit naman ang sukat, so i-return mo naman talaga. Alam mo
Pupunta
naman,
talaga ako
tatago mo yung isang binili mo na
Sayang
hindi naman kasya sa'yo, di ba?
Exactly. Alright, coming up. The government eyes to convert salt water into potable water to address water supply issues.
And rumors of a fresh ouster plot against President Bongbong Marcos have begun to circulate. Ala, ouster plot.
Yes. At abangan nila kung ano bang number 1 natin. We're just getting started. More of our top 10 news when Brunch returns. Keep it here on One News. Good morning. You're still watching Brunch here on One News.
Yeah, we're joined by Second Mile Coffee. Wala, natumba na isang cream puff.
Isang cream puff.
In 3 minutes. Si Angel natumba yung cake, natago yung plato Okay, good morning pala sa lahat ng viewers natin. Of course, we have
Our regular,
Battlefield, Sam Pokemon
viewers.
Go, And ito
Si VJ.
Joel Ilustrado Belandres, tsaka si VJ. And of course, lahat po ng mga loyalists natin sa ibang platform like YouTube. And of course,
Yes.
cable TV na hindi man nakaka-comment doon.
Si Ralph Domingo.
Oh, yes, si Ralph Domingo also. Good morning sa inyo lahat.
All right, let's continue our countdown for today. Going to our 7th spot is the Verde Island passage in Mindoro. The government and 3 huge conglomerates in the country have entered an agreement that aims to protect the Verde Island passage. The Memorandum of Understanding was signed by the Environmental Department, the Energy Department, Aboitiz Equity Ventures, San Miguel Corporation, and Metro Pacific Investments. The government and the conglomerates vow to continue protecting the passage that is considered as the center for marine shorefish biodiversity in the world. The 3 tycoons, Manny V. Pangilinan, Ramon Ang, and Sabine Aboitiz, previously entered a $3.3 billion deal to launch an integrated facility of liquefied natural gas in the country. Pangilinan defended this project again and said it is a transition for the country to use clean energy sources.
It will thus, however, take us quite a bit of time to achieve that kind of desirable state where the Philippines could be carbon neutral. So it is the transition fuel. Renewables for the meantime are not able to satisfy completely what this country needs in terms of a neutral carbon position.
Importante na maprotektahan talaga yung Verde Island Passage na yan because yan nga yung tinatawag na center of the marine biodiversity. And I remember this last year, yung MT Princess, yung nagkaroon ng oil spill. Then a lot of environmentalist groups talagang nag-protest at saka nagkaroon ng kampanya na talagang maprotektahan to kasi nga dahil yung papunta na yung oil spill doon.
Okay, let's move on. Coming in at the top 6, Norway has committed to helping the Philippines in its fight against child sexual abuse. The Norwegian government will support the operations of the PNP and NBI in identifying and rescuing potential victims. Philippine law enforcers will also be trained how to access available sources of information on perpetrators overseas. The Philippines ranks 2nd in the world after India in terms of child sexual abuse cases, according to Save the Children Philippines. Nakakalungkot na we're one of the highest with the reported cases. But there's also daw, sabi kasi ng officials natin, another way to look at it, it's because sa country natin, may mga mechanism for reporting.
Yeah.
Baka kasi sa ibang bansa, hindi naman nare-report
masyado
lahat ng cases. Like for example, kasi in other areas na mas mahigpit ang who still are not fully applying democracy, children sometimes are scared to speak up and the parents because minsan may babanggain kang powerful people eh.
Totoo.
Oo.
Pero yun nga, itong support ng Norway dito sa Philippines
This is good.
regarding online sexual abuse sa atin, dito sa ating bansa, ay okay na way, di ba? Kasi sabi nga nila, they'll be training the authorities ba, on
Yes,
how to handle
oo.
these cases. And kasi ito, they're using technology di ba? Tapos, yun din, they're also checking or thinking of ways na papaano nila din, kumbaga, tawag dito, maayos ito. Kasi nagkakaroon din ng, alam mo yun, yung sa mga money remittances. Diba, yung kanyari, nagkaroon ng sexual abuse and exploit ng magulang yung anak through a different country, magpapadala ng pera. So, they're trying to look at that angle din na paano din makukuha yung mga perpetrators
A
through
majority
that.
kasi of yung sexual abuse cases with minors are transnational cases.
Yes.
Oo. And so minsan kasi may mga countries na wala tayong jurisdiction, especially if money is transmitted via
Yun nga, yung money remittance centers.
money remittance centers kasi wala tayong over that. We have no control over that. That's why we're seeking cooperation with other countries like Australia. Meron din tayong tight cooperation with that with regards to crimes that are perpetrated through the cyberspace.
Tsaka I remember during the pandemic talagang tumaas yung cases sa mga online
Yeah.
abuse dahil yung mismong perpetrators mo kasama mo lang sa loob ng bahay.
Minsan pa, sarili mong magulang ang
Diba?
they're selling their own children online. Nakakainit na ulo.
Alright, let's move on to our next topic. Switching gears now for our top 5, nearly 20 areas in the country are still expected to experience dangerous heat index. According to Pag-asa's forecast, parts of Catanduanes, Capiz, and Eastern Samar will sizzle at 45 degrees Celsius. A scorching 44 degrees Celsius heat index, meanwhile, is expected to be felt in 2 towns in Palawan. 9 areas, including the cities of Dagupan, Iloilo, and Zamboanga, would experience a heat index of 43 degrees Celsius, while 6 other areas in the country are expected to log 42 degrees Celsius heat index. Due to the intense heat, the water level at Angat Dam decreased to 185.18 meters from 185.65 meters. The water level could drop to around 180 meters or close to the minimum operating level by the end of the month.
Usapang init pa rin, the DOH logged 77 cases of heat-related illnesses this year, 7 of whom have died.
That's true. And let's discuss this further with Dr. Dex Macalintal, our resident lifestyle medicine specialist. Magandang umaga sa iyo, Doc.
Hi, Angela. Hi, Diego. Kamusta?
Sige, ano po ba yung sintomas, para lang mas klaro to sa ating mga kababayan, ano po ba yung sintomas ng heat stroke at ano ba ang pinagkaiba nito dun sa tinatawag naman na heat exhaustion?
Yung mga heat-related illnesses kasi natin, magkakaiba sila. Pwede natin magbigay tayo ng tatlo lamang dyan. Una dyan, yung sinasabing nga natin na heat cramps. So ito parang cramping lang yung sensation ninyo sa inyong mga skin, no, sa mga muscles ninyo. And then kapag dumako tayo dun sa medyo hindi na talaga na-regulate ng katawan natin yung init, no? So pagka sobrang init, tulad ngayon, narito ako sa isang gas station sa SLEX, napakainit niya naman talaga. And we can just see, no, meron ako mga nakikita dito ng mga manong, no, na mukhang iinitan na talaga sila. Ito yung tinatawag natin na maaari sila mapunta sa heat exhaustion. Minsan dyan ay parang pagod na pagod, no, tapos pawis na pawis, at parang close to going to parang gusto nilang matumba nga, no? So yan yung heat exhaustion natin. Pero kapag na-stroke na, yung tinatawag natin na heat stroke, ito yung hirap na talaga, no? Pwede itong magkaroon ng vomiting pa, no? Pwedeng talagang nahihirapan sila huminga, nahihirapan sila sa paggalaw, no? Pwede talaga silang parang stroke yung simptomas. So ito, yung mga sinasabi natin ng mga nakakatakot na bagay kapag ganitong kataas yung heat index natin na nakikita sa mga balita. And then makikita din natin sa kanila, no, yung hirap ng paghinga nila, no. So kapag ganyan, kinakailangan madala agad sa ospital yung pasyente. Pero kung hindi man, kahit dalhin lamang muna natin sa lilim, no, sa malilong na lugar, at para sa ganon ay maiwasan natin yung paglala pa ng problema. And then syempre tanggalin natin ng konti yung damit nila at bigyan ng malamig na kahit tubig, kung kaya uminom, kung hindi man dampian ng malamig na bagay yung inyong mga ulo, yung mga kilikili, yung mga singit-singit natin sa katawan, at para buwaba yung temperature.
Yes, alam mo, Doc Dex, no, similar to several cases na nangyari before sa Los Angeles sa isang heat wave, also dito, karamihan ng mga victims na reported na mga heat stroke have reported na parang creeping daw ang symptoms. In other words, extremes.
Yes.
In other words, okay sila ng una, they feel okay, all of a sudden it hits you like a truck daw, biglang lalala ka instantly. Now, how do you recognize this sa simula pa lang na may possible heat stroke ka? Kasi very mild daw ang starting symptom nito.
Well, sa simula, no, yung mapapansin nyo lamang na naghihina lamang, no, kapag ka may init talaga, mainit yung panahon, meron kayong mga comorbidities, tawag natin ng mga hypertension, diabetes, and the like. At risk kasi kayo talaga sa pagkakaroon ng mga heat stroke. So kapag ka medyo konti pa lamang na nanghihina na kayo, mainit yung panahon, medyo parang dehydrated yung pakiramdam ninyo, medyo kinakailangan na ninyong mag-ingat. So ang sinasabi natin, pumunta na agad sa lilom, pumunta na agad sa isang medyo mas malamig na lugar para ma-cool down yung katawan po ninyo.
So in other words, pag nanghihina ka na at nauuhaw ka na, medyo may nangyayari na. Okay, tapos
Yes,
I'd like to also ask you, no, a lot of people have been saying na, of course, hydrating is very important, pero it's also dangerous din daw na to hydrate yung talagang quickly, biglaan pag inom ng tubig. What is the right way of doing this?
Well, yung hydration kasi talaga natin, tama naman, na kinakailangan natin na dahan-dahan. No po? Kasi kapag ka masyadong mabilis yung pag-hydrate natin, maaari tayong magkaroon ng tawag na hyponatremia. Ito, napabalita natin ito sa mga balita natin dito sa stasyon natin, na nakita na may isang babae na sa Estados Unidos na ang problema, masyadong mabilis ang pag-inom ng tubig, at more than 20 liters ang nainom niya sa loob ng isang oras. Yung sa loob kasi ng isang oras, ang kaya lamang i-filter ng ating kidneys ay 0.8 to 1 liters ng tubig. So kapag sumobra kayo dyan, no, maaari po na masyadong ma-hydrate, no, mag-swell yung utak natin, at yan yung magdudulot ng problema. No? Kaya ang sinasabi natin, sips of water lamang, wag na kayong, kapag hindi naman masyadong marami yung ipinapawis ninyo, wag nang sosobra sa 1 hanggang 2 litro sa isang oras. No? So yung 2 liters natin, 2 to 3 liters natin sinasabi, hanggang 4 liters a day ngayong may init ang panahon, ay in a day. No, hindi naman sinasabing 1 oras ubusin na po ninyo yan. Yan lamang yung tama nating hydration. Yes, sips of water is okay, no, para makatulong po sa inyo.
Doc Tex, recently kasi, I think that was 2-3 days ago, we've reported an infant, no, a baby na namatay due to heat stroke. So talaga bang wala nang pinipiling edad ang heat stroke?
Yes. Walang pinipiling edad ng heat stroke. At saka isa pa natin kailangan matandaan dito ay ang mga bata ay hindi po maganda masyado ang kanilang mga regulatory sa kanilang mga temperatura. Yung pang-regulate ang temperatura ng mga bata hindi pa masyado rin maganda. That's why sinasabi nga po natin na kapag ka po kayo ay may mga kasamang bata, kunwari magta-travel kayo at kunwari titigil lang kayo saglit sa isang lugar, siguraduhin po ninyo nakasama niyo yung mga bata kasi maaari na sa konting pagkakataon lamang, konting oras lamang na maiwan nila sila sa sasakyan at mainit, no? Maaari po silang magkaroon ng problema. Maaari po hindi ma-regulate ang tama yung heat nila at ito yung problema natin po pwede talaga po silang ma-heat stroke. Kasi nga hindi po masyadong develop ang temperature regulatory pathways ng mga bata.
Doc Dex, I'd like to follow up on that question, kasi I've read a study about something na sinasabi nila, ang mga kids daw talaga ang mas vulnerable when it comes to experiencing heat stroke or heat exhaustion, at may sinasabi silang mga scientific studies regarding that. Can you explain that to us? Bakit mas vulnerable ang mga kabataan as compared to sa mga may edad na sila pa yung actually mas under the sun, nagtatrabaho, etc.?
Yes, habang tumatanda kasi tayo, mas nagde-develop ang ating temperature regulations, no? Ang temperature regulations natin, mas nare-regulate habang tayo tumatanda. Yung mga bata, no, at saka actually extremes yan. Yung mas mga bata at saka yung mas mga nasa edad na mas elderly, mas nahihirapan sila mag-regulate ang temperatura nila. So, ang dahilan nito ay kasi nga hindi pa masyadong develop, no, yung katawan natin at hindi pa na-develop ng maayos yung temperature regulation nila. So, ganoon na siya kasimple. Pwede natin i-expound ng sobrang scientific pero baka kasi mag-overload lang tayo ng information on the pathways. That's why lagi natin sinasabi, kinakailangan bantayan po ninyo yung mga bata, no? Dahil hindi pa masyadong develop yung pang-regulate nila ng temperature. Kaya ang nangyayari, o yung thermoregulation kaya tawag natin, kaya nangyayari, mas prone sila sa pagkakaroon ng heat stroke. Kasi nga, hindi pa nila masyadong nailalabas talaga yung init. Hindi katulad nating mga nasa edad na around adolescent, papunta sa before, sa early adulthood at hanggang sa middle adulthood, pwede pa nating ma-regulate ng tama. Pero yung mga nasa late adulthood going to elderly, problema na din. So again, extremes of ages ay risk po sa pagkakaroon ng mga heat-related illnesses.
And of course, Doc Dex, I'd like to ask you, we all know hydration is the key during yung ganito ka-init na temperatures, but what other precautions can we take to avoid getting heat stroke, heat cramps? Assuming also, Doc Dex, that everyone has access to air conditioning systems, which is another way to beat the heat.
Yeah. Well, at tama yun, kung may air conditioning kayo, gamitin ninyo, fans ninyo, gamitin po ninyo. This is the time na gamitin po ninyo yung mga appliances ninyo kaysa ma-stroke pa po kayo. Pangalawa, yung damit natin, huwag masyadong maiinit yung suot ninyo na damit, no? Huwag masyadong makakapal, huwag masyadong dark colored, at saka syempre kinakailangan din po light lamang yung inyong mga suotin, no? And then magdala ng mga tops, magdala ng mga payong, no? Kung kaya po ninyo na magdala parati nga ng inumin katulad na pinapakita natin sa videos natin, mas mainam. And then kasama rin po diyan kung kayo po ay talagang sa labas nagtatrabaho, kung makakabili kayo ng sunblock, mas mainam po.
Well, I'd like to add to that. Last question, Doc, for me. No? Kasi there are two schools of thoughts about this. Some are saying during the day, if you're at the house naman, why not take a couple of showers to bring down your body temperature? Mga iba nagsasabi, if you do that kasi, nagsha-shock daw yung body mo, bring down your temperature a number of degrees, nagsiskip siya. So, hindi daw ganun ka-safe din daw yun. Ano ang take mo dito?
Hindi totoo. Kahit na anong oras pwede po kayong maligo, no? Ang ating katawan, no, lalo tayong pong nasa mga edad na ganito, no, yung mga working class natin, pwede po kayong maligo kahit na anong oras po ninyo nais, no? Walang pag-aaral masyado ang nagsasabi at nagkukumpirma na masyadong biglang babagsak ang inyong temperatura. Kaya pong i-regulate ng inyong katawan ang temperature na yun.
Alright, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras, Dr. Dex Makalintal. Ayan, thank you so much. Kasi dun sa usapin nga nung bakit mas vulnerable yung mga bata, ang sinasabi nila in an easier way to explain it is that yung mga bata mabilis magpawis kasi they have higher metabolism. That's why they get dehydrated right now.
Yes, bata kasi extreme sa metabolism, extremely fast. So ang shift niya, para sinasabi ni Doc Dex, mabilis on both sides.
Yes.
We cannot really regulate it. Not like pag older tayo, our body can regulate better kasi mas mature ang systems natin.
Right.
Oo.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on to the next.
Cambio tayo.
Okay. Let's change gears. Okay. Moving on our top 4 or sitting pretty at our top 4, target ng gobyerno ang pagko-convert ng tubig dagat para maging fresh water bilang tugon sa kakulangan ng tubig sa ilang lugar. At may 20 pesos ka kilo ng bigas. Pero pwede ba itong mabili ng lahat? Para bigyan ng mukha ang balita, Mobile Journal, Judy Baiza.
40 milyong Pinoy sa bansa ang wala pa ring access sa formal water supply o maayos na mapagkukuna ng maiinom na tubig. Sa press briefing sa Malacanang, sinabi ng DENR na karamihan sa kanila mula sa Mindanao.
They still access water from springs, from creeks, some even rainwater. No? They rely on rainwater for drinking water purposes.
Kabilang sa mga proyekto, strategies na yan ang pagkakaroon ng desalination system. Iyan yung conversion ng tubig dagat para maging fresh water. Ang bawat desalination plant, maaaring makapag-supply ng hanggang 500 pamilya. Kaya lang, nasa 5 hanggang 8 milyong piso ang kakailangan para rito.
Marami tayong iniisip na pagkukunan ng pondo, syempre government funds. We are also looking at the possibility of soft loans from development partners and organizations. Na-bring up ko rin kay Presidente kaninang umaga kung pwede tayo mag-issue ng government bonds for water projects. And of course, PPP.
Sa sandaling magkaroon ng pondo, 1 buwan lamang daw ang kailangan sa pagtatayo niyan. Samantala, iniulat naman ng National Irrigation Authority na nagbebenta na ng 20 pesos kada kilo na bigas sa kadiwa sa NIA sa Region 5. Yan ay para sa mga 4-piece beneficiaries, senior citizens at PWD. Sa Agosto naman, asahan din daw ang 29 pesos kada kilo na bigas sa mga kadiwa stalls.
100 million kilos ang manggagaling sa NIA. Of course, meron din sa NIA yan. Kasi ang pronouncement ng Secretary, pag mapalitan yung, pag makabili na ng palay kasi ang makapagbenta ang NFA, so ganoon din. May contract farming din sila, bibili sila ng palay, bibenta ng palay.
Target na maibenta yan sa mga syudad sa Metro Manila. Mobile Journal Julie Baiza po, hatid ang mukha ng balita.
Yun nga yun, kaya di ba nagkakaroon sila ng usapin or they're planning to mapabilis yung paggawa ng Department of Water and Management Resources ba yung tawag nila doon. Basta water management system ng Pilipinas that will, handle all the water-related problems here in our country. Kasi can you imagine, I was reading the news about it, 40 million Filipinos do not have access to clean and potable waters. Doon sa ating 7,600 islands, 5,500 islands doon, including barangays, etc., ang walang access sa malinis na tubig.
Even sanitation facilities, they need water to filter out the dirt. Wala rin access sa mga barangay natin sa proper toilets, which needs water. So, how do we recycle or reuse water na spent na, di ba? Si Bill Gates has had several projects that he has proposed to different nations about this. Maybe we could take a look at that also. Oo.
Pero itong nakikita na nga nila na project, yung desalination system, medyo
Oo.
mahal ito.
Medyo mahal.
Pero pag na-procure daw ito within month, magkakaroon na, magiging up and running na, kumbaga operational na siya. Pero yun nga, titignan na, of course, kasi may kamahalan billions of pesos, you know. Each unit daw would cost 5 million and 8 million.
Wow.
Pero this will can serve up to 500 families, around 500
and
families.
it could solve a lot of issues like connectivity of water, yung waterways natin.
Oo, exactly. So, hopefully, we can talk to somebody from DNR to give us an update regarding this plan, yung desalination system nila, para nga, kumbaga, ma-address yung ating water issues dito sa ating bansa. And hopefully, we can talk to DNR nga, tulad ng sabi ko, ng iba't iba pang mga issues regarding ano pa sa atin, di ba, itong Verde Island Passage, tsaka yung iba pang mga usapin tungkol sa ating environment.
Yeah.
But for the meantime, let's continue on with our countdown. Moving over to our top 3, Philippine and U.S. troops are now preparing for war games off the coast of Ilocos as part of the Balikatan exercises. Here's the report.
U.S., Australian, and Philippine troops are now gearing up for the strike exercise near the coast of Candon City, Ilocos Sur tomorrow. A tugboat of the Philippine Navy has already pulled out to see the old warship named BRP Kaliraya, which will serve as the mock target in the strike exercise. BRP Kaliraya will be placed right at the edge of the Philippines' territorial waters. That's 12 nautical miles from the shores of Ilocos. The old vessel will be treated as an invading enemy ship heading towards the Philippines. While it's still far from land, the Philippine and U.S. troops will try to fight it off using their boats, planes, and land-based weapons. It should be noted that the ongoing Balikatan is happening on the backdrop of growing tensions between the Philippines and China in the West Philippine Sea. Coincidentally, BRP Kaliraya, the mock enemy ship for the exercises, was actually made in China. Beijing has earlier warned against the move, saying that they will see the sinking of the China-made ship as a provocative act. But the AFP clarifies they will not intentionally sink the old vessel.
We will be firing at the vessel, but not necessarily sink it. So just simulations po of actual events that gonna come in.
The AFP notes that tomorrow's maritime strike exercises is meant to strengthen the integration of different weapons of the Philippines, US, and Australia.
It's not the question kung lumubog. The question should be asked if there was really integration from all these different components during the conduct of exercise. The other platforms will not be able to fire their particular part if at the very first strike, lumubog na kagad yung.
The Balikatan exercise is set to conclude on May 10. Speaking of tensions in the West Philippine Sea, China is not letting go of its claim that the AFP Western Command agreed to a supposed new model to manage the situation in the Ayungin Shoal. They say this new agreement supposedly establishes guidelines for China and Philippines to interact with each other in Ayungin. The AFP, though, belied China's claims, noting that they did not enter into any agreement with China. The Philippine Navy did not mince words in denying China's claim.
I call this zombie stories. Long dead, but yet revived from the grave. The best approach for this is to put these stories rightfully where they belong, in the grave, never to be heard again.
Meanwhile, the AFP also confirmed that Western Command Chief Vice Admiral Alberto Carlos has taken a leave of absence. The AFP clarifies, though, that Carlos's leave has nothing to do with the Chinese embassy's recent claim that the AFP Westcom entered into an agreement with China on a new model for managing the situation in Ayungin Shoal. AFP spokesperson Colonel Francel Padilla did not say how long Carlos's leave will be, but she named Commodore Alfonso Torres Jr. as acting Wescom chief.
Provocative action daw ang pagta-target sa BRP Kaliraya. Anong tawag mo sa water cannon? Di ba
Peaceful
provocative
resolution,
yun?
char.
Provocative yan.
Anyway, nagkaroon lang din ng paglilinaw itong Balikatan na, ano pangalan niya? Yung sa Balikatan Executive Agent natin, si Colonel Michael Lohico, yung B-50 something? B-52 heavy bomber.
Yeah,
Kasi
B-52.
nagkaroon nga ng paglilinaw doon na gagamitin yun pero hindi nila ipa-fire. Diba? Gagamitin yun sa exercise pero hindi nila ipa-fire.
Hindi siya magpapabitaw ng bombs. Okay.
Gagamitin lang nila yun sa exercises. Pero yun nga, naging makulay din yung pag-file ng leave nung admiral dyan sa Wescom dahil nga dun sa usapin na may mga kumbaga, ano yun yung nilabas ng China, di ba?
Nagkataon pa na may gulo tayo about China supposedly saying that we have entered into agreement and kausap nila yung
taga Westmincom. Westcom.
Westcom.
Pero sabi nila wag daw bigyan ng kulay. Pero mamaya pag-usapan pa rin natin yan dahil nandito na. 'Di ba ang ating makakasama for today para makakuha po tayo ng karagdagang impormasyon tungkol nga po dun sa ating news kanina. We have Yusek Carlos Primo David of DENR via Zoom. Good morning po. Yusek.
Hi, good morning, Angela and Angelo. Nice to meet both of you.
Same here and thanks for joining us today. Siyempre, paunang tanong po natin, how are we helping areas that don't have access to fresh water right now? Dahil dun po sa ating report, we have 40 million Filipinos na wala pa rin po pala hanggang ngayong access to clean and potable water.
Alam mo, Angela, there was a sectoral meeting yesterday with the President to talk about water resources. Marami akong pinresent ng mga proyekto, including water supply for large cities like Cebu and Cagayan de Oro. Meron ding programa on dams for irrigation. Pero alam mo, pinick up talaga ng Presidente kahapon ay yung isang slide ko na nagsasabi na 40 million of our countrymen still do not have access to a formal water supply. Ito yung tubig na hindi pinapipe in sa mga kabahayan natin. At sabi niya, yan ang priority natin. No, more than any of the other bigger projects.
Okay, what strategies? I thought we've been talking about desalination system. Aside from that, ano pa ang possible strategies natin to address our water woes na sinabi rin ng Presidente, which is kind of ironic because we are a nation that experiences a lot of floods, and yet when it comes to supplying our kababayans with water, medyo nahihirapan tayo.
Alam mo, tama ka na very ironic. Ang dami natin tubig pagka rainy season, pagka dry season naman, kulang tayo ng tubig. Kaya yung isang program dyan ay talaga mag-impound tayo ng tubig during the rainy season with or through reservoirs and dams para may gagamitin tayo para sa dry season. Ngayon, hindi alam ng karamihan or siguro alam ng karamihan kung ilan ang islands natin, isla natin sa Pilipinas. This is around 7,600 plus islands. Pero ang hindi alam ng karamihan ay kalahati ng total number of islands natin ay small island barangays. More than 3,000 small island barangays. And almost all of them do not have access to a stable, sustainable supply of water. So ang isang solution dyan para sa mga island barangays natin ay itong tinatawag na modular desalination systems. Maliliit na mga desalination plants po sila.
I understand kanina dun po sa report natin na in 4 weeks time, basta may pondo, makakapag-install tayo nitong mga desalination systems or machines that you've mentioned. And I understand also na meron pong 20 island barangays in Cebu that are already doing this. And meron po bang binigay na timeline si Pangulong Bongbong Marcos sa inyo para po maisakatuparan itong mga plano na to?
Wala naman timeline, pero sabi niya ito yung priority natin and it has to happen right away. Lalo na El Nino pa rin tayo, merong drought conditions pa rin tayong nararanasan, lalo na dito sa western part ng Pilipinas. And so, very clear yung instructions to do fast track this particular program.
Right. Taking this opportunity, Yusek, to ask you na rin po regarding the Verde Island passage. Could you tell us more about the protection na nakapag-partner po kayo with the different companies as well?
Okay po. Marami pong events ang nangyari kahapon. Ang center of the center, alam naman po ng lahat na the center of biodiversity in this part of the world is the Philippines. And the center of the center is somewhere in the Verde Island Passage. Ito po yung dagat in between Batangas, no? South of Batangas and north of islands like Mindoro, Romblon, and Marinduque. Yung island, yung belt po na yan, including the Verde Island, yan po ang isa sa pinaka-mayaman sa biodiversity natin. Ngayon kahapon, nag-sign po ng agreement ang DNR through our Secretary, Sec. Tony Loizaga, kasama ang DOE through Sec. Popo Lotilla at saka yung malalaking businesses natin, particularly to implement programs for the preservation of the Verde Island Passage, no, this area that I'm talking to you about.
Yes, Yusek, supposedly, I'd like to get your side on this. There have been various groups that have been claiming na DENR hasn't responded to their calls, like protect the Verde Island Passage. Now, is this true, Yusek?
Dami po siguro ng kailangang protektahan ng DNR ay hindi talaga natin mapagtutuunan ng pansin ang lahat ng issues at lahat ng problema hinggil sa deforestation and loss of biodiversity. But rest assured, for the Verde Island Passage and many other islands, our secretary is serious in implementing programs to protect these natural resources. In fact, for the very first time in our history, we will be putting up 6 marine stations around the Philippines. Itong marine stations na to will double as for our monitoring and surveillance of illegal activities, at the same time research for the protection of our environment, marine environment in particular. Meron po yan sa norte, sa may Santa Ana, ginagawa po ngayon. Meron dito sa Northern Palawan, meron sa may Giwan, and then dito sa Mindanao. So 6 all in all. And then moving forward in 2025, we will add a few more stations. Ito yung isang naisip namin na para yung presence ng DNR is really on the ground, no, in areas that are most needing of protection. Kasama dyan yung ito lang yung sa mga marine environments natin, pero later on we will also have, actually it started this year, protection programs for specific animals naman. Alam natin, pinoprotektahan natin ang Philippine eagle, tamaraw, pero meron pa tayong iba pang mga endangered animals that will need a little bit more focus. No? Yung dugong, Philippine kakatu, at iba pang mga hayop sa ating kagubatan.
Ako, marami pa po kaming gustong itanong sa inyo, but unfortunately, we don't have much time. But thank you so much. We really appreciate your presence here. Thank you so much, Yusek Carlos Primo David of DENR.
Maraming salamat po.
Alright.
Don't go away because we're not done yet. May dalawa pa tayo. Please stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching Brunch here on One News.
Oh. Next. Ano next natin? Going straight to our top two, former Senator Antonio Trillanes warns of an ouster plot against President Bongbong Marcos. Trillanes claims that there are ongoing attempts from no less than the Duterte camp to remove Marcos from power.
Dito po sa kampo nila Duterte, yung ouster plot po, all options on the table po yan. Pwedeng people power, withdrawal of support, kudita, rebellion, impeachment, kung ano man. Basta ang bottom line is makabalik sila sa poder.
The former senator adds that the plotters have been trying to recruit support from the armed forces. According to Trillanes, two high-ranking PNP officials allegedly involved in the plot have been identified.
Lukewarm ang reaction sa kanila kasi talagang wala namang valid reason or justifiable reason for any military intervention against President Marcos.
Yeah, when they talked about this, supposedly the Davao group are supposed to be officials from the Davao group, high-ranking officials are part of this. But syempre si Senator Bato de la Rosa claim na hindi naman totoo yun.
Oh, there's no truth to
Yeah,
this.
but kasi ang sabi kasi niya is long time ago is Pangulong Duterte, former President Duterte is just very close to his officials. So when he was meeting with retired officials, ang sabi niya nagkaroon lang ng kulay ang pag-meet niya. But also remember, if you remember, in the months ago, si AFP Chief of Staff General Romeo Browner also came out and said na they support the president, and then about the coup rumors, nagkaka-loyalty check daw, hindi naman daw totoong may ganon. A lot of reports have been coming out in the past.
Sabi nga nung spokesperson ng PNP din, on their side naman,
wala.
Sabi niya, we remain apolitical. Yun ang sinasabi nila. So, until makita natin na mayroong mangyayari, then yun nga. Kaya sabi nila, Trillanes strikes back daw. Kaya hindi, nagbabalik na siya. Pero ito nga, dahil isa to sa mga sinasabi din ni Senator Antonio Trillanes, itong top 1 natin. Our top story is the so-called PDEA leaks. Actress Maricel Soriano finally broke her silence after getting tagged with President Bongbong Marcos as alleged drug users. Here's the report.
Sa mga nag-viral na dokumento na nagdadamay sa pangalan mo, sa tingin mo ba may katotohanan ang mga nasabing dokumento?
Unang-una po, hindi ko alam yung tungkol sa mga dokumento. Nalaman ko na lang yan nung pinakita sa akin. Dahil hindi po ako nagbabasa ng mga ganyan. Wala po akong alam.
Wala.
Actress Maricel Soriano has cleared her name in a Senate hearing about the so-called PDEA leaks. The alleged confidential documents show details about a planned drug surveillance operations against the president in 2012. It also indicated that a number of political and showbiz personalities were frequently using illegal drugs in a condo unit in Makati. The Diamond star admitted she was the owner of the mentioned condo unit, but she already sold it by the time PDEA was allegedly monitoring it.
May property ka ba sa Rockwell? Ikaw ba ang nagmamay-ari ng unit Rizal Tower Building located at Rockwell, Barangay Poblacion, Makati City?
Opo. Hanggang 2012 po, nabenta ko na ho yun. Wala na ako doon.
Former PDEA agent Jonathan Morales also attended the Senate hearing. He was the one who signed the viral documents. Senators grilled Morales and tried to get the name of his informant in the supposed operation. However,
hindi ko po maalala, Your Honor. Ikaw, Morales, nagbabanggit ka ng pangalan ng mga personalidad, ultimo pangalan ng presidente, ultimo pangalan ng mga iba't ibang sikat na artista na wala ka namang ebidensya.
PDEA reiterated the PDEA leaks are not authentic. The agency said Morales did not turn such documents when he was fired.
Yun pong papel na yun, kung totoong may ganun, ay dapat hahawakan mong mabuti yun. Dapat po idadaan mo sa tamang proseso. Dapat ibibigay mo sa tamang kustodyan. Kaya po niya hindi nagawa yun kasi walang ganun.
Senate Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs Chairman Bato de la Rosa is still convinced the documents are real. He is planning to head another hearing about this on May 13. Senate President Mig Zubiri warned his fellow senators of making the hearing into a political witch hunt.
Mag-ingat lang tayo, huwag po tayo magpagamit for political persecution. This goes for every committee hearing, ha?
Former Senator Antonio Trillanes claims De La Rosa's Senate hearing is part of the Ouster plot against the president. The senator was quick to deny Trillanes' conspiracy involving him.
President Duterte hindi tumawag sa akin. Walang malang kahit kunting nihaw-niho para sa kaso na ito, para sa investigasyon na ito. Wala. Cross my heart, hope to die. Tamaan ako ng kidlat ngayon kung ako'y tinawagan ni President Duterte.
For News 5, Camille Samonte, We Are One News.
Ayan yung for context ng sinasabi ko kanina na isa din yung sa sinasabi ni former Senator Antonio Trillanes na ouster plot. Yung isa din sa allegations niya
Kasi
na
impeachment, if you take a look at it, impeachment is part of the ouster plot. Sabi nila, this could be a road to impeachment.
Yes, yun daw ang sinasabi.
Pero,
yung allegations.
Pero on record naman ni Senator Bato de la Rosa na he finds the document authentic. But he clarified an authentic document doesn't mean na yung content could be authentic. Because that was an initial report pero hindi verified because when they were going to conduct an operation to verify such reports, supposedly daw si former Executive Secretary Paquito Jojo Ochoa told them to scrap or to stop the operation. So, wala na na-verify kung totoo yung allegation. But the document itself is authentic.
True, yan ang sabi niya.
Authentic. Sabi niya, is authentic. Yung content lang is up for question.
Yun. Pero yun nga, sabi nila, they might invite former ES,
I
diba?
think he is, sa May 13.
Paquito Ochoa to clarify the allegations against
if he really stopped the operation.
Yes.
And kung if ever, talagang sasabihin daw ng PDEA, hindi authentic yan because hindi daw nila makikita yung documents within their premises because tinanggal na daw yung documents. That's why Senator Bato is looking into bakit nakalabas ang supposedly top secret documents out in the open.
Actually, nag-remind niya si Senate President Miguel Zubiri, diba, dun sa kanyang statement yesterday, dun sa ongoing, sabi niya, not just directly here, dun sa nangyayaring Senate hearing, but in all committees na make sure yung mga, di ba, make sure hindi nasasayang yung public's money sa pag...
Don't go on a witch hunt daw.
Oo, di ba? Na make sure na yung mga ebidensya ay hindi hearsay yung mga binibigay.
Huwag magpagamit. Alright, with all that, I'd like to leave everyone with a quote for this morning. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift of God, which is why we call it the present. A quote from Bill Keane. Present, regalo ng Diyos.
Tama. O dahil regalo pinag-uusapan, happy birthday kay Jerry Yang.
Jerry, happy birthday.
And of course, thank you so much sa Second Mile Coffee for this wonderful treat, the cake and the cream puff.
And the coffee.
Oh, of course.
And that wraps up today's episode of Brunch.
Join us again tomorrow. I'm Angela Lagunzad Castro.
And I'm Angelo Castro III. We are One News.
All sides, all the time.